You ever feel like you're just moving through life on autopilot? Like every morning you wake up and your body is working, but your soul checked out a long time ago? Here's the truth nobody tells you. Emotional burnout isn't just being tired. It's your nervous system screaming at you in a language most people ignore. You think exhaustion is physical, but the real fatigue is psychological, a slow erosion of meaning. Your brain, designed to protect you, starts to short circuit when the inputs don't match the outputs. You're giving, performing, surviving, but somewhere along the line, your internal battery has been drained without a single recharge. And when that happens, everything you do feels hollow, even the things that used to bring you joy. The first survival insight is understanding your brain's energy economy. Neurobiology tells us that chronic stress rewires neural pathways. The amygdala, your brain's alarm system, becomes hyperactive, while the prefrontal cortex, the part that reasons and plans, goes offline. It's like trying to drive a car with a screaming engine but no steering wheel. The survival method here is radical self-prioritization. It sounds selfish, but it's physics. You can't pour from an empty cup. Protecting your cognitive resources is like conserving fuel in a blackout. Every decision, every interaction costs energy, and every unnecessary expenditure pushes you closer to collapse. This isn't indulgence, it's survival. Next, we have the underestimated power of emotional triage. When you're burned out, not all tasks or relationships carry equal weight. Identify the critical few and cut everything else. Think of it as mapping safe routes in a post-apocalyptic city. You wouldn't wander aimlessly into dangerous streets, so why expend emotional energy on people or projects that destabilize you? This isn't avoidance, it's strategic allocation. By doing this, your nervous system starts to stabilize, giving you micro recharges that feel almost miraculous in their subtlety. Sleep becomes non-negotiable. Your body can't metabolize stress hormones if your circadian rhythm is shattered. Deep sleep is like a hidden survival bunker for the mind, where synapses repair and toxins flush out. Most people treat sleep as optional, a luxury. But in emotional survival, it's a weapon. In practice, that means darkening your room, cutting artificial light, and defending your sleep schedule as aggressively as a soldier defending his perimeter. Then there's the paradox of movement. The mind might be trapped in a cage of exhaustion, but the body still has resources to deploy. Low-stakes physical activity, walking, stretching, swimming, even just standing stimulates dopamine and serotonin, reigniting neural circuits that have gone dark. It's counterintuitive. Your brain feels too tired to move, but moving is exactly what fuels the mental recovery. The lesson is that survival isn't passive. Even in burnout, action triggers biology that whispers life back into you. Connection is another survival principle most overlook. You don't need a crowd. You need the right nodes in your network. Neuroscience shows that meaningful social bonds lower cortisol and stabilize heart rate variability. Loneliness is a stress amplifier, an invisible predator that eats at resilience. Cultivate a small circle of people who understand exhaustion without judgment, who mirror calm instead of chaos. These relationships act like safe houses in a storm-ravaged world. This section is based on practical field survival experience rather than formal academic sources. Then it comes narrative reconstruction. Your brain craves meaning. And when burnout hits, it tells you life is meaningless. But meaning can be rebuilt, slowly, deliberately, like repairing a fragile bridge. Journaling, reflecting on small victories, reframing setbacks, these are survival tools for the psyche. The act of externalizing thoughts and structuring them restores a sense of agency, a recognition that even in burnout, you're not just a passenger. The physics of stress doesn't change, but your interpretation of it does. And that shift in perspective is what allows endurance. Finally, embrace deliberate disengagement. Modern life constantly floods the senses with low-level threats. Notifications, news cycles, endless obligations. Emotional survival requires carving out silence, creating zones where the brain can downshift. Meditation, nature immersion, even just staring at the sky for a few minutes a day works because it gives the nervous system permission to relax. Think of it as unplugging a generator that's been running at 200% capacity. You can't fix it while it's still burning fuel. This section is based on practical field survival experience rather than formal academic sources. The ultimate truth is harsh but liberating. Being tired of existing isn't a moral failing. It's a survival signal. It's your system telling you, loudly and clearly, that it can't function on autopilot anymore. And survival, in this context, isn't heroic. It's practical, biological, and methodical. By understanding how your brain allocates energy, how relationships and movement affect stress, and how silence and reflection rebuild meaning, you aren't just enduring, you're reclaiming life from the brink of collapse. Emotional burnout is a battlefield, and survival isn't just possible, it's inevitable when you stop ignoring the warnings and start respecting your own inner ecosystem.